This is an egg. If you break it, it splatters. And it isn't very hard to break these things, because the shell is thin. So thin that most people don't even realize that the shell is not the only layer protecting the wet from the outside world. Once you go past the shell, there's a very thin membrane that is about as durable as fucking wet paper. But this still means that it's possible to peel the shell off a raw egg without puncturing the thin membrane and acquiring yourself a naked, saggy ball sack of an egg that doesn't really serve any purpose, except it's super cool and you'll be one of the very few people in the world to pull it off. Plus, babes love peeled eggs. We're not so different from penguins. If you're in need of love, I'd highly recommend egg peeling. It was Paige who gave me the idea, since I've been wanting to get into an IRL speedrun and she suggested I try it. But she'd seen it on TikTok, and I remember seeing a thumbnail to a Ludwig stream where he had done it as well. Ludwig also stands as the only egg peeling example I've found that actually used a timer. The timer is important because, as I mentioned, I don't just want to peel a raw egg and offer it to my girlfriend. I want to be the fastest egg peeler in the world. So a few weeks ago, I got to work. And holy shit, it's super hard. It is really hard. The first big challenge is starting off, because you can't just start peeling, you need to break a little piece off first. I started by trying to use the tweezers to scratch at the surface until I could grab a little piece and start separating the shell from the membrane, but that was slow and sketchy. Grabbing a big feck-off pocket knife to do the scratching for you is your best bet for sure.
I should get off the knife as quick as possible. No wet, okay. Whew. I was about to be real pissed off. It sometimes looks wet because the top is so much thinner. Guys, I think starting at the top is the smart idea. As much as I hate it with a fiery passion, like, it just means that late game we get to deal with the bottom, and the bottom is so manageable compared.
Also, starting position and route is an important question. The top of the egg is by far the hardest to peel off. The shape makes it insane to avoid punctures, so you either want to do it first to get it out of the way, or last, where you have a lot more slack on the membrane sac and your cuticle pusher can easily separate the shell. When you're planning a peeling route, you gotta take into account the late game. You will literally be holding this thing for 1 to 3 hours, and you need to be holding what's left of the shell to the very end, because in order to separate sac from shell, you need tension on the shell. Trying to peel off the shell late game without tension is a recipe for a puncture.
Hey, I don't think the run's dead. I think I'm gonna scuffed finish it off. Oh, there we go. That's time.
Now let's talk about those punctures, shall we? Your egg sac will never pop like a water balloon. Or it shouldn't, unless you're treating it like one.
Fuck. Oh my god, the tear on the right side. It gave too much tension. I was trying to go too fast.
Instead, little mistakes will result in tiny holes that will just barely leak. And that hand you've been holding in the exact same position for an hour is going to start getting sticky egg sauce on it. Your egg isn't dead yet. It can survive a handful of punctures before time of death is declared, as seen by Ludwig. That is a very wet egg. Those punctures, however, aren't going to get any smaller. Once the sauce has been exposed to air long enough, it can actually dry and somewhat stop more from leaking out of the egg. But too much stretching is only gonna make those holes bigger. It's when 2 to 3 punctures stretch that you gotta call it and let the poor egg go.
Even though the pole believes that it's dead, you know, one man's dead egg carcass is another man's living egg. You know what I'm saying? Until my fingers are soaked in the blood, sweat, and tears of... Oh, that's another big gash. Yikes. Okay, no, I think it's dead. If I turn it upside down... Yeah, look at that drip. Ooh, not good.
Seems your best option for tools is a cuticle pusher and tweezers. the pusher being easily the most important of the two. The thin, smooth edge allows you to get in between the layers of the shell and membrane and very gently separate them. Honestly, the tweezers only serve to break off pieces of shell that you've separated and grab very precise small shell pieces. There's also the question of egg brand, since obviously if one egg had a thicker membrane, that would be the play. Elite eggs, if you will. Somebody told me that fresher eggs maintain a thicker membrane, so I got some eggs that had come straight from a farm just days prior. I can't say for sure if that made for a thicker membrane though, because it would be with a pleb city egg that I got my first smoothly completed run just a few days ago. I thought it was dead at the beginning because I got a small puncture early on, but the little bit of sauce that had dripped out actually aided in my de-shelling, because when I separated shell from membrane, the sac sunk in and I could easily tear those exposed pieces off.
This is it. But I need to give this part tension still somehow. I need a third hand. Look at his handshake. I know. Thank God for thumbs, man. We'd be so screwed without thumbs. Thank God I didn't lose them in some like tragic accident as a child or something. Holy shit!
Well done, Gregory.
That is 100% peeled egg.
1 hour, 54 minutes. A lot quicker than Ludwig, but I don't know how I compare to TikTok egg peeling fiends until they drop a timer down as well. A surgeon who did it for fun claimed to have an hour 30 times, so that was gonna be my next goal on the way to sub-hour. Until today, with this video half-baked, I got on this run.
I did pole vault for a couple years in high school, and my pole vault teacher, she was this very sassy lady. Whenever she'd tell me something, I'd always say, yeah. And so she called me yeah boy, and just generally gave me a very hard time because, you know, I was in pole vault. I wasn't taking it that seriously. And at the same time, I was doing a cooking class in high school. So, you know, I go through my day, whatever, I have my cooking class, and some evenings I would go to the sports gym across the city and do pole vault. Anyway, my cooking teacher was also super sassy and gave me a really hard time because I also didn't take cooking that seriously. So I had this pole vault teacher, younger girl, who gave me a hard time and called me yeah boy. And then I had this cooking teacher, older woman, who gave me a hard time. Anyway, one day, I come to school and go to my cooking class, and what do you know it? My pole vault teacher's there. Wow, that's crazy. Turns out, she's my cooking teacher's daughter, and has been telling her mom about this annoying kid that she teaches, that she calls yeah boy. And boy, was I a deer caught in headlights when I saw them together. So then the cooking teacher proceeded to call me Yaya boy for the rest of the year. They were a strange family. Like, they owned llamas. I never saw them, but I saw pigs. They shared llama pics with me. I guess we should do more of the top. We really got to commit to like full toppage. In football, whenever I'd get tackled, I'd say, nice tackle, man. I would always compliment players in their tackle. I'd be like, ooh, that was a good hit. Because they'd hit me so fucking hard. Like, I didn't like getting up on my own, But if you were nice to them, they would help you up after they tackled you. Sometimes. Only the real dicks didn't help me out. So like, we'd be down on the ground, be like, dude, that was a good hit. They'd be like, thanks, man. And then they'd help me up. It was great. Really good system. We're not being super fucking tired at the end of the game. I can feel myself getting a bit impatient. My cuticle pusher keeps getting stuck. That's a real piss off. If I get a PB, I'm gonna have to like partially rewrite my script for the video I'm trying to get out tonight or tomorrow morning, I guess, at this point. Holy shit. Oh my god. What a run. What a rush. Holy fuck. Oh my god.
Huge 28-minute PB. Getting closer to sub-hour, and I beat the surgeon. I hope to set up a leaderboard for egg peeling on speedrun.com because already I've inspired a handful of people to join me on my speedrun raw egg peeling quest, but that might not happen because it isn't a video game. I'm fine hosting our own leaderboard on my Discord server if enough people want to give it a shot, and overall my goal is sub-hour. If I get that, then I will without a doubt be one of the best egg peelers in the world. For now, I'll be streaming it once a week, and I'll definitely be making another video when I get that time.